Electric Fire 2 Hidden Chains Chapter 29, Series Finale.
Amy and I stayed outside watching from the window after our last encounter with the human. We were both afraid of them. I want to go in and rescue Sonic, but two humans appear. Both rushed to the table where Sonic's friend was, the one he had tried to save. Both humans looked concerned. Then me and Amy heard something bark and then run towards us. We made a run for it.
Me and Tom stayed back as Maddie examined Shadow. She checked for broken bones and also checked Shadow's pulse. She was a vet, but she didn't exactly know what she was looking at. It seems my body type was similar to a human rather than an Earth hedgehog.
He just appears to be really banged up. I don't think he has anything broken. His pulse is, well, fast, but that seems to be normal for you and him, Sonic.
Maddie felt bad she couldn't help much. Turned Shadow to the side to check for any injuries she may have missed, but found nothing other than some burn marks and some scrapes and scratches. Nothing major. She flipped him back over so he was facing the ceiling. Then Maddie felt Shadow's forehead, then his ears. His ears were hot, showing his fever.
Do you still have those salts?
Yes, but I think Shadow needs rest. I don't think using the salts would be a good idea. Also, remember when Sonic reacted to them? Also, he appears to be in a much rougher shape than when I first met our blue space hedgehog friend.
Maddie then put a hand on my shoulder. I felt that it couldn't protect him. Then Tom nodded, then picked Shadow up carefully and then placed him on the couch before fetching a blanket for him. Ozzy then came back inside the house as Tom covered Shadow with the blanket. I stayed with Maddie in the kitchen as Ozzy laid down on the ground beside Shadow. His left arm hung off the couch a bit. Ozzy licked his hand before laying his head on his paws. Maddie got a washcloth and put it under cold water before tugging it to wear most of the water out. Then she went to Shadow and put it on his forehead. I watched curiously. I wasn't sure if it would help or not. I spent the night in the living room. Knuckles and Amy came inside the house after Tom and Maddie went to bed. It seems they didn't trust humans much, not that I'll blame them. I used to stay hidden. No one but Carl knew of my existence. It was a lonely life, but at least Knuckles had a friend with him back then. I only had myself. I fell asleep behind the couch when I felt tired. I wanted to be there when Shadow wakes up. I wanted to know that he was going to be okay. After all, he's my best hedgehog friend. I was still getting to know him at the moment, so we weren't exactly friends yet. I curled up and fell asleep on the floor. I didn't mind it much.
My body ached, no energy left. I looked up to see Sonic a couple feet from me, laying beside the robot the commander was in. Everything was foggy, though mist had blown in the room. Somehow Sonic looked back at me weakly, but then ran over. But not a word was spoken between us. I watched him, but he didn't seem to notice. I was awake. The robot had fallen. We won the fight, it seemed. But then everything went dark. I was back at the dark again. Sonic and the robot were gone. Here I was, staring out the window at Earth along with space. Then I saw her, Maria's reflection in the window along with Gerald. I could feel the hate in his eyes from the reflection. I turned around to face them. Just as I had, Maria ran up to me and gave me a hug before whispering,
"I'm so proud of you, but it isn't your time yet. Sonic still needs you."
I looked at her confused, but then again a part of me understood. I didn't want to leave him. It seems this was only a dream, yet this feels so real. Gerald just stared at me as I hugged Maria, wishing this moment would last. But then everything vanished. I was waking up. Light hit me. It was sunlight. I turned over onto my side, instantly regretting it. My body was so sore, moving was difficult, and I had moved a bit too quickly, which caused me to gasp before wincing. A cloth slipped from my head and onto Ozzy, who got up quickly, giving a short bark in surprise. The cloth was on the floor. Then the noise came from behind the couch. It caught my attention. My energy was so somewhat low, but I was on alert, too sore to get up or move to see what caused the noise. But it seemed I didn't need to since it got out from behind and took a seat on the couch beside me. I didn't take up the whole couch, but I was glad to see who had just taken a seat beside me. It was none other than Sonic. He seemed glad to see me as well. This is kind of embarrassing, but I admit I grinned rather than smirked. Guess I still have a few emotions left other than frowning and smirking. Now and then, emotions are a powerful thing, really. Not exactly easy to control sometimes. They can get the best of you. I still had a feeling of energy loss, though my injuries were healed by now, and my inhibitors were on my wrists. I guess I still needed time to recover. I sat up once I did. Sonic got up and put his arms around me, giving me a tight embrace. I gratefully returned it, but not as tight. Then I felt something drip onto my shoulder. Then I heard Sonic sobbing a bit. He was crying. Dread overcame me after hearing him sob. Was this what it was like when he thought you lost me the first time? I wondered as I patted him on the back to try and comfort him. It's all right, I'm okay, Sonic. He didn't reply. He still hugged me. It took a while until he calmed down. I wasn't sure if I was going to have a life now, since for as long as I live, I felt Gun would be after me. Same for Robotnik going after Sonic. But it didn't seem to bother Sonic. It didn't seem to bother Tom and Maddie if I stayed. Sonic didn't seem to mind either, so I guess I'm here to stay for now. I could probably stay on the Ark, but with Gun around, it would probably be best to stay here with Tom and Maddie. Besides, Sonic needs me, so I guess I'm here to stay. I've finally found a place where I feel like I belong. Was this what Sonic felt before? I wondered, but that thought slid past my mind. This is where our story ends, but it's a happy one at least.